In this video, we're going to explore the Neville Goddard concept of living in the end to manifest your desires. I'm going to explain what this concept is and how you can use it in your own life to see amazing manifestation results. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tom and I make videos that help you empower your higher self and manifest your dream life. If you'd like to win 60 minutes of free one-on-one coaching with me, comment below "it is done." Winners are announced every week. Okay, so let's firstly explore what living in the end means. To start with, we have to realize that we are in a state of consciousness at all times. We have a certain state of being. Now, our state of being, as Dr. Joe Dispenza defines it, is the sum total of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. We cannot escape having a state of being. You must have some kind of state of being in every present moment that you're alive, at least in this physical universe. That's just how human life exists and functions. The question is this state of being in relation to what we see and perceive through our senses, or is it something that is related to what we are creating within our own imagination? Because unlike other species, humans have the capacity to decide what state of being they want to be in. So if we have a desire, we have to acknowledge that would the current me, having realized my desire, think, feel, and act in exactly the same ways as my current self without the desire? And what we find is usually it's no. Usually we'd be feeling happier, we'd be behaving in a more empowered way, and we'd be thinking purer, more positive thoughts. All of that would change in some way. Now, what we do is we connect with that desire, and we learn about it, we learn about the nature of it, so that we understand what assuming that state of being or that frequency of consciousness would be like. And once we understand that, we can bring it into the present moment, despite what is around us. And we live in the end. We merge with that state of consciousness right now, no matter what appears in our physical reality around us in our everyday life. And we bridge this connection more and more and more, such that it becomes a consistent and constant state of being. We sort of flow along in this state of faith, in this state of knowing, wholeness and completion, in this good feeling state, because we're assuming that state of being and that frequency of consciousness that we would feel had we already achieved our desire. So that's what living in the end is. Now, how do we connect to this desire? Well, we use tools like imagination. Imagination is just a potent thought form with pictures and emotions all wrapped up in one thing. It's a very powerful way of connecting to your desired reality and understanding how you would live if it was true. And we learn about what it would be like, and we can become more comfortable and expansive in this desired realm. And then we are able to consistently live in the end. Let me read a quote from Neville Goddard that further expands this idea to really hammer this point home. Because the key point is, if you understand this, if you can live in the end, you can manifest whatever you want. You are, at this very moment, drawing into your world that which you are now conscious of being. If you are dissatisfied with your present expression in life, the only way to change it is to take your attention away from that which seems so real to you and rise in consciousness to that which you desire to be. You cannot serve two masters. Therefore, to take your attention away from one state of consciousness and place it upon another is to die to one and live to the other. Okay, so now let me share some key ideas which will not only help you practically live in the end to manifest your desire, but also further explain how this works at the same time. So tip number one is I am-ness. And what is the I am-ness? Well, that's the eternal presence within you, the infinite consciousness that you are. It's what enlightened masters are pointing us to when they say there's only the present moment, turn within, and you will receive all the answers there. And when you turn within, you become pure awareness. And this awareness is very expansive, and that is the I am-ness. That is you. And as you become this I am-ness, you realize that you are a creator, and that you are powerful, and that you are a loving, divine force. Of course, you can connect to this in varying degrees, and I definitely haven't realized the maximum potential of this. But through meditation, I've personally experienced this. So what Neville Goddard tells us to do is to connect to this I am-ness, because in doing so, we let go of the old story. We let go of our current reality and current consciousness or state of being. And we're like a painter who is holding up one painting for their entire life, and then all of a sudden decides to put that painting down and become the I am-ness. And then what happens when you become this I am-ness presence is that it's like picking up a fresh canvas. Being itself, connecting with the I am-ness, gives you this blank canvas. Because as you turn within through meditation or yoga, and you tap into this presence, you realize that it's not just emptiness, it's aliveness, it's power, it's creative force, it's pure potential, looking to manifest into whatever you want to create. And as you are painting this new picture, you learn about what that reality is like, and you're able to draw in that connection consistently in your normal everyday life after you finish painting, after you finish imagining, because you've already seen the picture and you've already experienced what it's like to have that picture and be able to look at it and enjoy it. So I am-ness connection. This is achieved through 15 minutes of meditation every day. I'll leave a link down below to the yoga Nidra meditation I do on a daily basis for a starting tip. Number 2 is disciplined bliss. Have you ever heard of the phrase follow your joy or follow your bliss? The Joseph Campbell idea, who was a famous mythologist in the 20th century. He wrote on the hero's journey. There's this idea of when you become present and you just open up to that intuitive capacity within you, there's this obvious sense of, I should do this, or how about this, I'm excited about this. But often we just dismiss those ideas. But when you're living in the end, you feel good, you feel connected, you feel in faith. And right then there's these hints and nudges. I should do this, I should try this. Now why do I say discipline? Well, because I'm quite a rational person. I'm a thinker. I find it hard to be so flexible sometimes. I'm getting better every day. But with discipline, what I've realized is that by following these instincts and impulses, you not only manifest things faster and things rapidly unfold with lots of positive momentum in really unexpected ways, when you just take this chance to listen to this intuitive drive to do something. What I also worked out is if you follow it all the way through, it does a full circle, comes back all the way around, and you end up having all the chance to be disciplined, not only just in a single day, but in weeks and months. So the more you do these little impulses, it doesn't just keep you leading you all down in a crazy spiral. I'm just going to go to the shops and then I'll see a movie and you don't get any work done. It's more like you do this and this and then you're satisfied and it's like, oh, I feel really good that I just saw progress then. Well, now I can do my other habits, the more practical, tangible, rigid structure and regimens I have. It comes full circle. So discipline bliss. An example the other day is it was last week on a Monday, and I had this schedule I wrote up the day before, but then I went, you know what? Life wisdom, Tom, when are you going to get it? Listen to what your bliss is telling you to do. Listen to that sense, that urge to do something different. And what did it tell me to do? It told me to read a book, read a random book. And I just read it, and then I read this chapter, and then I had this idea to shoot a video. And then I shot this video, it was amazing. And then I went on a walk with my dog. I hadn't got any of the stuff I was meant to be doing with clients or website building or anything like that. But in saying that, I came back from my dog walk and I opened my inbox and there were 4 new client application forms, 3 of which have already paid me for sessions. Where did that come from? Alignment. Connecting and living in the end and flowing freely in this sense of faith. So it's amazing how things can unfold when you just do this. And the end of the story was I felt like I got so much done, even though I didn't follow my schedule, that I still did the other tasks in the afternoon and had one of the best days I've had in years, I'd say. It was an amazing day. Number 3 is there will be blocks. Sort of a pun off that Daniel Day-Lewis movie, There Will Be Blood, so I hope some of you appreciate that. It's not a very high vibration, feel-good movie, so I don't recommend watching it if you don't want to be brought quite low in your state of being. But anyway, it's a good film. But there will be blocks. This means that, picture it like you're this hedge trimmer. You have this big bushy hedge, and you've worked out you want to carve it into a swan, and you want this to look like a big, amazing swan. Well, you can connect to that, and you can live in the end, and you can feel what it would be like to have pruned away all the excess branches into this beautiful swan. But of course, in reality, you've still got to do that pruning process. You've still got to pick up that hacksaw and hack away the branches. What does that mean? Emotional turbulence, where you unexplainably feel bad, you feel resistance, there's blocks come up, etc. Check out my video on manifestation backlashes and how to deal with negative emotions for more details on how to manage this process. But the whole idea is you don't need to be perfect here. The more you prune away, the closer you get to that desired reality, the more you're able to live in the end, the more momentum happens, and on it goes, and it gets faster and faster and faster, you get closer and closer and closer, you merge. But as you're building it up and just starting out, expect turbulence within your emotions. Here is a Neville Goddard quote that further emphasizes this idea. Here is something to always bear in mind. You cannot put new wine in old bottles, or new patches upon old garments. That is, you cannot take with you into the new consciousness any part of the old man. All of your present beliefs, fears, and limitations are weights that bind you to your present level of consciousness. If you would transcend this level, you must leave behind all that is now your present self, or conception of self. And finally, this is the obvious one, but I'm going to give it a fun title, is Daily Vacations. This is none other than imagination, enjoying your scene, imagining it from all angles, bringing it to life with vividness. But I've got a technique video on how to imagine with success. I'll link it up there, so you can check that out with ideas on how to imagine with amazing success. But make sure you're imagining every day for 5 to 15 minutes, especially before bed, because that is going to really connect you to this reality so that you feel so comfortable and you feel so connected to it. If it becomes so alive within your state of being that you carry on after it, and you can live out your day with this bedrock of faith and connection within you. Alrighty guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, please comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Check out my website for more information on coaching with me. I'd love to have a session with you. And happy manifesting. I'll see you in the next video.